although it was a war which saw little dogfighting, for those manufacturers whose aircraft were victorious, the grisly sales potential of successful combat was inescapable. Familiar images will resurface once more as laser-guided bombs and missiles fall unerringly towards their targets. And once more the paradoxical message that high-technology weapons save lives and are cost-effective will again be offered up for consideration. Back at the 1992 Farnborough Air Show, there was an undercurrent of intense competition, as a number of fighters, including IFA, did battle for the attention of air forces who needed to find replacements for their aging fighter squadrons. At the top
US on Twitter. However, if you look at the name scheme here, it's not at all what we expected. It's the RX 9000 series as opposed to the 8000 series. We were expecting the 8000 series to come after the 7000 series, so kind of weird. Also, look at the digits here. That doesn't say 9700 XT as you would expect, that says 9070 XT and 9070. If you look at the previous generation products, you'll notice that, for example, the 7700 XT, it comes in the second digit. AMD has generally placed the first digit as your product generation, and the second digit is more of your position, low to high end within that generation. Whereas NVIDIA has done it more like what we're seeing now, where you'd have like the 4070, now we're seeing a 9070 from AMD. So this appears to be a move from AMD to make their naming scheme look more like the NVIDIA naming scheme. Also note that the highest one that we're seeing listed here is a 70 class product. That doesn't necessarily mean it's designed to compete directly with the 5070, because for example, last generation, AMD's 7800 XT wasn't really a 4080 competitor from either a price or performance perspective, but it does kind of gel, if that is the case, with the fact that AMD's Jack Huynh has been directly quoted as saying that they're not targeting the high end with this next generation, which lined up to the rumors that we've been seeing coming out before then. So, according to the new naming scheme, as well as what we've heard directly from AMD and other rumors, it does look like they're not targeting, competing with the 5090, probably not even the 5080. Looks like maybe the 70 class, and they're even putting their naming scheme more to line up with that. Also, where's the 8000 series? Well, interestingly, there appears to still sort of be an 8000 series, but it's integrated graphics. So we've been seeing leaked benchmarks now in Passmark for a Radeon 8050S and 8060S integrated GPU. That's integrated, right? So you're not going to buy this as its own graphics card, but it does start with the 8000 series. Also note, again, that we're seeing it skip the second digit and go in for the next digit, meaning it's looking like both this new integrated graphics lineup as well as their new discrete lineup are moving more towards that NVIDIA style positioning of the number for the product stacked, low to high positioning, which is interesting. Also interesting is the fact that this integrated GPU is outperforming an RX 7600 in this Passmark benchmark. So what are the details here? And then I'll circle back around and talk about the 9000 a bit more on that. But let's dive into this for a second. So there's two Passmark benchmarks here, and I will link all my sources in the video description if you want to look at all of this, in more detail yourself. But there's a couple of important things to note. First of all, there's an 8060S and an 8050S based system here. But note that when you actually look at the benchmark results, including if you isolate for the 3D graphics mark, the 8050S system is outperforming the 8060S system. And so that clearly indicates that something's not right